Thanks for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Russ is with us in Salem, Massachusetts. Hey, Russ, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How are you?
I am good. Dave, I posted some things on your website in regard to insurance philosophies you put online. And having been an insurance broker for about 35 years, there are a few misstatements that are on there that I'd like to use the air as a chance to maybe either clarify with you or maybe get some clarity from you on. May I do that?
Sure.
Okay. Number one, you have said on your website that term insurance is the best and the only kind of product people should buy in all instances when they need life insurance. And what I can tell you is that we do not recommend whole life insurance across the boards. We recommend life insurance situationally. There's no two needs, no two situations that are pervasively similar. Okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Okay. Number two, the cash value that you've talked about is
Wait a minute, did you want me to address that one first?
It's up to you.
Okay.
If you'd like to, I'll be happy to do it one at a time.
Well, you're an insurance agent, obviously, and I disagree when you say there are no two instances that are the same. There are basic principles of mathematics and basic principles of personal finance that are always the same. For instance, I would tell you there is never a time that you would use a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that you can't convince me that there's certain times you should use a credit card. They suck. They're a bad product. They don't work. And I think the same thing's true of whole life.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take it a little bit further. Number two, there seems to be some question about the cash value of a life insurance policy as being a bad investment. And I won't get into the issue of performance, but I think the big thing that you need to realize is this. The cash value is not there because insurance companies are creating a standard of return or investment that is deemed to be poor or is deemed to be immovable. The cash value
Then why would you do it?
Policy is there. It's a function of law. It involves.
So why would you put extra money into a policy to create cash value if the cash value has no standard of excellence at all on the rate of return?
Well, you didn't let me finish. Those policies historically get better as they get older. Okay, the cash value of a life insurance policy is a function of state law. It's a function of statutory reserves.
Sure.
And also from an actuarial standpoint, it's used to keep premiums level indefinitely. Why do you think term insurance is so cheap? Because term insurance does not have or maintain a legal reserve affixed to it.
Well, sure it does. They have to have cash reserves to support. Otherwise, the state won't license the term insurance company. Now, it's a 20-year level term. 20-year level term insurance is about 1/5 or about 1/20th the cost, about 5% the cost of the same amount of whole life is.
You're right, but from an actuarial point of view, whole life is considered to be a product priced indefinitely that does not have.
Yeah, but it never stays in place indefinitely.
That depends upon the person, and that depends upon the situation.
All the research shows that they cash them out like crazy.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
I can tell.
The vast majority do. But let's just pretend you kept it for your whole life. Why the flip did you need it for your whole life?
How about some things called estate taxes? There are people who do, when they die, see their family incur a substantial financial loss.
And so in order to cover estate taxes, I need to get ripped off for 60 years in a horrible financial product. That's your theory.
Well, let me just say this. If you talk about the difference of investment, why don't you talk about the difference in, for example, in attorney's fees? There are attorneys who charge $300 an hour versus $700 an hour. You don't tell somebody to invest the difference in legal fees to see if they come out ahead, do you?
Of course I would, if the actual if the actual legal advice was exactly the same.
Well,
if you die, you get paid with term insurance. Your beneficiary gets paid. Pretty simple formula. If you die with whole life insurance, your beneficiary gets paid only the face amount after you've paid 20 times more for the policy.
I can refute that very easily.
Well, you can't.
If a policy is arranged properly, a person can receive not just the face amount of the policy, but in addition, they can receive the value of the cash account.
No, they can't. Not unless
Yes,
not unless it's an AB universal, in which case you paid more for it to start with.
No, you do not. That is not true.
Are you talking about paid up additions?
Pardon me?
Are you talking about paid up additions?
No, I'm not talking about paid up additions. There is did you ever have something called the fifth dividend option?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What is it?
Well, absolutely. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, the people don't get the cash value. You pay 20 times more, and the cash value is not added on. Now, I mean, you can look at every major whole life company that's out there, and you tell me they get their cash values. They don't get them. Russ, it's a piece of crap.
Listen, are you talking about the beneficiary?
Listen, here's the situation, dude. I can talk to you for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to talk you into not selling whole life.
I'm not even talking about whole life of term. I sell a lot of term, bundles of it.
But you still sell the other crap too, and you're offended because I said it's crap.
Now, let me ask you another question. Yeah, by the way, for your information, just I'm not arguing with you, but the cash value, the amount of the value on top of the face of the policy can be paid to the beneficiary if the policy is written appropriately.
And none of them are written that way.
Well, I've written them that way for 35 years.
No, it just doesn't happen, dude.
You and I know
that is not how the industry is set up.
Well, believe me, it is. The other thing is, you said that, you talk about whole life as being such a horrible product. And again, maybe in your mind it is, but can I ask you this question?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that particular product that you think is so deplorable, bought by many publicly held companies and privately held companies to fund buyouts of corporate stock? And
there's a lot of buy-sell agreements that use whole life, and you know why? Because people like you sell that crap to them.
No,
that's exactly why they do it.
Do you know how much?
A simple partnership buy-sell agreement can be funded with term life insurance for 1/20th of the cost.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you know how many publicly held Fortune 500 companies use whole life and the millions of dollars the boards of directors authorize for that?
And it's really sad that they're all getting screwed at that level.
Well,
it really is, because it's garbage, Russ.
From very prestigious business schools, I think they know a little bit more than a layperson.
Well, they may or they may not, but the bottom line is that at the end of the day, dude, it is the payday lender of the middle class. It's a horrid product. When you pay 20 times more for the same amount of coverage to build up a cash value that you never receive, because when you die, they pay the face amount, Russ.
They pay and can pay, and I will refute that in any way.
You can refute it all you want, but you're wrong.
I know
they
I'm
don't
right. I've been
do
doing
it.
this.
So I can argue with you like I can argue with a brick for the rest of my life, and the brick's still going to be a brick. And so when you and I finish talking, you'll still be a whole life agent, and I'll still be right. So conversation over, dude. Thank you for calling in.